Affidavit that led to a search at former American President Donald Trump's Palm Beach residence in Mar-a-Lago may soon be out in public domain. This is an American judge on Thursday said that he's actually leaning towards releasing some of the evidence presented by the U.S. Justice Department to justify the search operation at the Mar-a-Lago. The remarks were made during a hearing of a case pitting news organizations against federal prosecutors. Despite the objections that have been raised by the Justice Department, the U.S. Magistrate Judge Bruce Reinhardt has said that there are portions of the affidavit that can be unsealed for the public to view. Now, the affidavit refers to the sworn statement that lays out the evidence that showed the probable cause for the search at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. The judge has also asked the Justice Department to file a redacted version of the affidavit under seal by the 25th of August, a move that has been opposed by the department. Reinhardt's order seemed to mark a victory for news outlets that appeared in the federal court in West Palm Beach to persuade the judge that public interest in the affidavit outweighs the benefits of keeping under seal.
Judge Reinhardt gave us some clues to that today by telling us, for example, that at this juncture he is not inclined to keep the entirety of the search warrant application and its affidavit under seal, meaning that he understands that the public is going to likely be entitled to some parts of this warrant application and its affidavit. He will consider redactions proposed by the Department of Justice, which are due to him August 25th. He will accept any briefing of the Department of Justice on those redactions. He will review those materials, and he will enter an order specifying what information, if any, will remain sealed and inaccessible to the public.
Now, the search at Trump's home marks a very significant escalation in a federal investigation into whether Trump had illegally removed documents when he left office in January 2021 after losing the presidential election to Democrat Joe Biden. The Justice Department is investigating the violations of 3 laws, including a provision in the Espionage Act that prohibits the possession of national defense information and another statute that makes it a crime to knowingly destroy, conceal or to falsify records with the intent to obstruct an investigation. The former American president took to social media seeking a release of the unredacted version of the affidavit in the interest of transparency. However, none of his attorneys have filed any motion asking the West Palm Beach federal court to do this. The Trump has said that the search was politically motivated. He's described it as a clear case of a witch hunt, and he's also said that he had a standing order to declassify the document in question. And also our correspondent Susan Tehrani has been tracking the story very closely for us from New York and has sent us this report. Listen in.
The U.S. Department of Justice has until next Thursday to file a redacted version of that affidavit related to the search of former U.S. President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence after a Florida judge ruled on the issue, a sign that Judge Reinhardt is willing to unseal part of that much talked about affidavit. However, it may take some time for the public to see any part of that affidavit. First, the judge would review the redactions and then make his own redacted version of that affidavit and then give the government time to appeal. Meanwhile, on Thursday, a Trump spokesperson said on Twitter, quote, "No redactions should be necessary and the whole affidavit should be released." A number of media outlets, of course, have already and also called for the same. It's not yet clear whether or not the public version of the affidavit would shed any new light on this ongoing investigation, which the Justice Department says is in its early stages, notably regarding the probable cause of that search. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION. World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.